Hey guys, Eric here from Marked and Made again. Thank you again for joining the latest video in our P2s Tumbler engraving series. As you can see behind me, the tumbler is done. So we're going to pop it out. We're going to clean it. We're going to talk about what it looks like when it first comes out of the laser and then how to get that tumbler clean. And we're also going to show you some of the failed engravings that we've had. I think I have some in the back from last year and show you maybe what went wrong and how you can adjust for those. So stay tuned and let's get into it. All right, so as you can see, the tumbler just finished. So let's go ahead and pop it off. And it is going to be absolutely filthy when you first take it off, right? So you're going to think, hey, maybe I burnt that or otherwise did something wrong. You didn't. It's just really, they're really dirty when they come off. The powder coating leaves a really nasty residue. Now, this one engraves to black. So this is an orange to black tumbler, as I mentioned before. So let's go clean it off and then we'll show you what it looks like once that's done. All right, so we're in the back. We have a shop sink in the back of our store. And what we're going to do to clean this off is just grab some LA Awesome. This actually isn't an LA Awesome bottle. I buy it by like the gallon. So come down here, get this stuff. LA Awesome. This is the best cleaner. Another cleaner that I use for difficult colors is called Blue. So it's BLU. I won't be using this because it's more expensive. I only use that on like some that maybe are like actually blue tumblers it does really well on, or otherwise really hard to clean. So we're just going to give it a spray with some of this. And then I grab a magic eraser and just wipe it right off of there. You don't have to do any kind of crazy hard scrubbing. Just give it enough to rinse that stuff off. And then once that's done, rinse it right off of there. And then bring in your microfiber cloth just to dry it up real nice without leaving a bunch of paper towel dust in there. All right, so here we have our finished tumbler. And we're going to look at top to bottom. So pretty solid engraving. It looks good. All the way at the bottom, it's nice and clear. At the top even, nice and clear. It's all shiny. The black plated ones look really nice. So again, to clean off, take some LA Awesome, spray it on there, get you a magic eraser. That's the easiest way. If you have a difficult tumbler color to clean, like if you're cleaning a blue tumbler, for example, that just goes to silver, sometimes it'll get a nice little thick coating on there. It'll be a little difficult. Let's talk about a couple other things that maybe have happened on some older mess ups. So let me reach over here and grab, not that one. So we have a couple in the back. This one, I was actually testing this on a different laser, on an RF laser, and the RF has super good detail. But you can see here, like up here at the top, it's nice and shiny. Down here at the bottom, there's a little bit of a haze. So first of all, this happens when you're out of focus normally, or you don't have enough power. So at the very bottom, you can see it gets kind of streaky. So on this tumbler specifically, the laser that I was using, I didn't have enough of a focal range to focus on the spot that I really needed to split the difference without hitting the tabs because I was waiting on a lens to come in. I've since rectified this issue. This is with another laser, but if something like this happens where you're some points of the tumbler at different heights, it's nice and shiny, and at other parts you have a haze, that's usually because you were partially out of focus. So that's going to be the most typical thing when you see this kind of result. Conversely, if you see like streaking really bad, it could be that your LPC wasn't far enough apart. One other tumbler that I did a while ago, is this the one I was thinking of? So this one I actually did on the diode laser. So I was trying to mess around with settings on a diode laser and was using a different one. This was from like last September, maybe. I've had some of these mess ups for a very long time. And I found out that red just needed a little bit more when it came to the power there. So if you have stuff like this where it's banding, like you can see little spots of powder coat, especially on some higher parts, Again, that could be that you're out of level, but most likely it's just due to you need a little bit more power to get through that right there. Now, on ones like the one I just showed you, the Michael tumbler, and on this Deadpool tumbler, you can probably get through both of these with some steel wool. If you really wanted to save the tumbler, you probably could. I haven't had time or wanted to. Again, these were really old. This was probably last September, October. I just keep extra tumblers back here just as an example. But again, if you follow the steps that we showed you so far, you should be good to go. So yeah, that's how you clean them up. That's a couple issues that can happen. And it seems like this one looks pretty great all the way around. So it's shiny from top to bottom. There's no hazing, no spots, easy to clean up. That's exactly what you want. All right, so the last part in getting this tumbler ready is just throwing it back together. So just the opposite the way you took it apart. You're going to put the handle back on. You're going to put the screws back in from the bottom of the handles. And I'm going to move this over so I can actually show you what I'm doing here. Got our tumbler, got the handle up here, put the first screw in. I'm going to use the automatic screwdriver because it's easier sometimes to get this done. Got one. Grab the second one. It's a lot easier when you're not trying to do it for a camera. And screw it in. And then your handle's back on. And you're good to go. So tumblers all back together. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. So thank you for hanging in there. If you've stayed with us through the full video series, again, this wraps up the How to Engrave Tumbler course on the xTool P2s. If you missed anything, feel free to go back and revisit. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments below. We do check them, and I'll make sure to answer them or do a follow-up video if needed. Just a quick overview, right? We covered different types of tumblers, whether they're tapered or non-tapered, plated tumblers, how settings change with colors. We covered templates. We covered how to design. We covered how to make sure that your circles appear as circles on round objects. We covered different settings to use for different types and sizes of tumblers, as well as colors. We covered some accessories that will really help you get the job done more quickly and efficiently. And we covered everything from all of that stuff about tumblers to the setup and execution of a full wrap. So any questions, drop them in the comments. Make sure you check out our page, markedandmade.com. We have that maker education and support page. It's going to give you a lot of information about where you can go to find some of the things I'm using. All of the links will be provided there. So for the riser, for the lens, for the jigs that I use, for the different grips from Outlaws to the tumbler level, I'm going to put all that stuff together for you. It's going to be completely free. You'll find our settings sheet link there. You'll find our discount sheet link there with tons of discounts for all those folks, as well as information on who I get my tumblers from. So you'll find my tumbler suppliers, as well as codes for their websites. And you'll find some tumbler designers' websites as well. We do sell some designs on our website, however, not very many. So check out our digital files section, but also be sure to check out Kayla's Custom Designs, Marie Frazier over at KWC Nation, and Kristen over at 307 Cups, as well as Kristen Thompson from K-Tomp Laser Design. So I'll include all of those links there for you guys to get started. If you have any questions, feel free to join the Facebook group, DM me, email me, drop a question in the comments, and we will get back to you just as soon as we can. Thank you again for hanging in there. I hope that this video helps you to get a better handle on tumblers, specifically with the xTool P2s. We will shortly be doing one for the xTool P3 sitting here beside me if you hadn't seen that one yet. The xTool P3 does make it a little easier in terms of tumbler, I guess you could call it tumbler theory. But in my opinion, there's a little more setup required for each tumbler that makes it maybe a little more difficult. So I'll cover that here when we get some time. But in the meantime, I hope you really enjoyed this one. and I hope to hear from you soon. I will catch you guys in the next one.